Hello, gardeners. We're happy that you've joined us. This is Mid-American Gardener, and we're here to talk about spring things. Isn't that a nice thing to think about? Spring things. My name is Dianne Noland, and I teach horticulture at the University of Illinois in the Crop Science Department, and I'll cover any questions about perennials and cut flowers. However, we have three really intelligent folks here, and I'd like to introduce them so you can hear their expertise and gear questions towards that. Now let's start first with Chuck Voigt. Hi there, Chuck.
Hi, Diane. I'm also in the Department of Crop Sciences at the University of Illinois. My specialty is vegetables and or herbs, and so we can certainly answer questions about those kinds of things. Tonight, in the interest of clarifying some things, but not for everybody, I brought a true yam. You know, that orange, moist-fleshed sweet potatoes somehow got to be called yams to differentiate them from the drier-fleshed white ones, whatever. But this is a true yam. It's a Dioscorea genus. It's a monocot. It's not even a dicot like sweet potatoes. So they're not very closely related at all. Worldwide, it's the number 3 root crop consumed by people, so it's fairly important, but not so much here. I think it originated in Africa. These can get huge. They can be 7 feet long and 150 pounds, and they're chopped up and sold in pieces. Another interesting thing is they're poisonous. They have some cyanide in them. And need to be cooked. So you can eat a traditional sweet potato, or even the sweet potatoes that are masquerading as yams, but the true yam has to be cooked. That's the only caveat. Otherwise, you can use it more or less like sweet potatoes.
Did not realize about the poisonous part and the cooked part.
Right. This one it's a little unfortunate because this one sort of is shaped and sort of looks like a grungy sweet potato, but some of the bigger ones get almost a bark on the outside.
Wow.
And they are tropical, right?
They are tropical also, yes. Taro's number 1, sweet potatoes number 2, and this is the number 3 root crop.
Wow, great. Well, thank you very much, Chuck. That's very interesting. All right, let's go to the lady in the center, and this is Nancy Pataky. Hi, Nancy.
Hi. I'm Nancy, obviously. I'm a plant pathologist, and I've done lots of work in diagnostics. But one thing I wanted to show you tonight is something that you might have noticed in your own yard, or maybe in somebody else's yard like mine. There's a lot of dead pines out there right now. And that probably in itself can be confusing to some people, because not all evergreens are pines. So find out for sure that you have a pine because this problem that I'm going to talk about today is actually only on pines. And I'm going to make it even simpler. It doesn't occur on white pines. So this is a branch from a Scotch pine that recently died, probably in the last couple of months. And in order to test to see if the reason that this tree died is from a disease called pinewood nematode, or the pine wilt disease, you need a branch about as big as you see here. So I don't know, it's about as big as my wrist. And then what's going to happen is the lab that you're going to send it to is going to take cuts across little discs, they soak it in water, and then what happens is the nematode that causes this disease will come out and will be in the water, and that's how they can confirm that pine wilt is actually the cause of the disease or the death of the tree. We have a picture of a tree. There it is, the tree that has this disease or could have this disease. And the color doesn't show up too well on here, but if you can see, the tree in the background is a green color, and the tree in the front is brown, and they're both the same kinds of trees. They're planted at the same time. So if your tree is brown, it's not coming back. If it's sort of light green, it may still come back. You don't have to get rid of it. But this is my tree, and we just had it removed because the beetle that spreads this nematode will come out at the end of March if it ever warms up, and it could take it to other trees. So you want to get rid of any of your dead pines now.
Because I know originally when it spread, they stacked up the wood somewhat like firewood, and
it's better to
seemed to spread out from that axis
out of there if you can. It's questionable how, Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Take home message, get rid of it.
It gets complicated.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Nancy. And now let's go to David Robson. Hi, David.
Hi, Diane. I'm David Robson. I also work with Chuck and Dianne in the Department of Crop Sciences here at the University of Illinois. I'm a pesticide safety specialist, but I know a lot about trees, shrubs, turf grass, and marginally some fruit trees. My question has to deal with somebody who had a black walnut tree and last year put in a garden near the black walnut tree and ended up with nothing being produced. He asked, is there a way to overcome this problem? A friend told him that he could add lime, and I'm going to assume limestone instead of lime, and that would fix it. And he's somewhat skeptical about this advice, and I would say he's correct to be very skeptical about that advice. Black walnut trees produce juglone, which is a chemical that prevents many plants from growing, mainly more of the solanaceous crops, the peppers, the tomatoes, the peppers, and the eggplants. It doesn't really work that much on a lot of the monocots, so if you're big into onions, you can grow a lot of onions and probably not be affected at all. The thing is that the roots are producing the chemical will stay in the soil after the tree has been cut down for at least 5 to 10 years as the roots are rotting, so it's almost impossible, even removing the tree, that you're going to actually get the soil back to where you want it. There are a lot of ornamental plants that are going to be affected by the roots too. If you want to grow a vegetable garden near this walnut tree and you have no other choice, your best bet is probably going to be to make a raised bed, making sure that there's a barrier that's going to prevent the roots from coming into that nice loose soil, which they might, and also making sure that you remove the leaves that might fall on the bed during the winter time. They're not going to produce as much the chemical as the roots will, but you will get into the sawdust, the bark, the leaves, the shells themselves. It's all a great method by the walnut to make sure it has no competition when it's outgrowing, and unfortunately it does a lot of damage to our vegetables.
I think that sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. Long
Okay.
prison time for that chemical.
And you can find lists of plants affected or not affected on the internet.
Right, but for some reason, grass is great to grow underneath the walnut tree. Is not affected, but like Nancy
it doesn't
says
feel
earlier,
threatened.
It doesn't feel threatened.
It just
Absolutely.
needs some sun.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
that's true. Okay, well, very good. Thank you, panelists. And now we're going to go to a special Did You Know? Spring. Okay, well, let's go to the phone lines, and we're going to start first with Kenneth on line 1, and it's a question about radishes. Hello, Kenneth.
Hello. Every year I plant radishes, I get big tops on them and nothing on the bottom. What am I doing wrong?
Timing is usually the issue. Also, the variety can be an issue as well. Some of the larger types don't like the day length in the spring. I know like some of the one that's red in the inside is really a fall radish only, and if you plant that in the spring it just shoots up tops. If you stick with some of the small round red ones like Cherry Bell and some of those, usually they do pretty well. They would prefer that it's relatively cool weather, that they don't have moisture stress, but don't plant them too thickly. The best radishes I ever grow are the ones that I plant in my carrot row to market, so they're a foot apart, and within about 3.5 to 4 weeks they're the most beautiful singular radishes that you've ever seen. So don't overplant. Plant a variety that's really suited to be in the spring, and hopefully that'll get you in the vicinity.
Chuck, will any extra fertilizer, I mean, if they put too much fertilizer on, will they get too much green growth compared to?
Yeah, I suppose if nitrogen's out of whack, they might. You could probably cut back on the nitrogen in the area where the radishes are going to be, if you can do that, if you don't just do a blanket of a balanced fertilizer on it.
Okay, and last year was rough for radishes.
Oh.
I remember it got a little too warm, a little too fast. Unlike this year.
Yeah,
It-
2
well,
years ago particularly.
2 years ago. I knew one of the years because we had a lot of questions about it a couple years back. Okay, well, thank you for your question about radishes. We're going to go to line 2 now, and Martha has a question about houseplants. Hi, line 2, Martha.
Yes, I would like to know, do you know where I can get a beefsteak begonia as a house plant? I looked at all the florists, and nobody don't seem to know what it is.
Do you, David?
Oh yeah, I know what
it's you.
The beefsteak is the one that has, it's like a Rex begonia, but has that really shiny leaf to it. It's not
Okay.
kind of hairy. It's not the iron cross, but it's very, very
know the one.
shiny. Now, that's the description of it.
We know now which one.
Where to get it, I'm going to say gardens, try garden centers, nurseries, but sometimes ask the florist because they have a lot of deliveries every week or every month from Florida, so they might be able to actually get one specifically. I'm always of the type, and it's probably gardeners, true gardeners, go in and say, I don't care if you don't have it, I want you to get it for me.
There's
And
a technique right there.
And just say, get it to me.
And maybe a garden club, too.
Right, because if it's what I'm thinking of, they were, when I was younger, they were like pass-along plants.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the neighbor lady would have one, and it'd need to be divided, you'd get a start, and it's one of those kinds of things too. So
Because it does have that nice
a-
fleshy
the rhizome,
rhizome stolen, whatever.
stolen. It's
Yeah,
above ground, so it's a
right.
stolen.
So you can just break that off and stick it in soil, and it should root.
Yeah,
So, Martha, there's some ideas for you. Describe it, say, I don't care if you have it right now, can you get it? And then ask some garden center friends or some garden club friends. I think that would be the way to go. Thank you, that's a good question. So next let's go to a question about a dogwood, and it's from Barb on line 3. Hi, Barb.
Hi there. I have a dogwood. It's probably 15 years old. But last year I noticed, even at the beginning of spring, there were some branches that didn't get any blooms on it. They stayed there through the whole year. And I'm wondering if I should have taken those branches off or just left them. I just left them on.
I think what happened 2 years ago is we had one of the severest droughts we've had since 1988, at least, in this part of the country. I think there was a lot of moisture stress on things, and I think flowering dogwood is fairly susceptible to that, and it may just not have had the oomph to make flower buds and survive. So be happy that the top flowered. Hopefully, with somewhat better conditions last summer, I would think they'd be set up to do better. You can look at it now and see the little turban-shaped flower buds should be there.
And the fact that it didn't flower probably means those branches were stressed, so they might not even make it through this winter. But it isn't. You shouldn't have been cutting them off. You did the right thing to leave them. But coincidentally, it may just be that those branches will go on and die because the weaker branches, the winter will kill them, especially in dogwoods.
And they get crisp and dry when they're dead, and you can almost snap them off without even using pruning shears and get a pretty good result. So as long as they're limber and alive, maybe they just took a year off.
And I would point out that after this winter, they may not bloom this spring anyhow, because that's one of those plants that are kind of marginally tender when we get down to these minus 20 degrees. And like Chuck said, check that turban, and you can actually pop some of those turbans off, look at it, and if it's black on the inside, you're going to have probably green growth and no flowers.
And don't be surprised then.
Right,
Because typically the flower buds are more susceptible to cold injury than the vegetative buds are. So.
And if you want to plant the Kusa dogwood, which blooms after it produces the
I like the
leaves.
Kusa dogwood. K-O-U-S-A, Kusa dogwood. Well, that was a primer on dogwood. So there you go. Thank you very much for your question. Now let's go back to the panelists and do some emails. I'll start with you, Chuck.
Okay, well, this is a good spring question because we're not there yet, but hopefully we will be someday. It's a person from Aurora, Illinois, who wants to start an organic vegetable garden. She's not sure where to start. There's so many books in the library that's intimidating to her. Can I point her in the right direction? She's talked about starting it for 3 years and doesn't want to go 4 years without actually getting it going. So, not to be self-serving, but
There's a great book I know about.
I have a book that's available through the Extension Service. It's called Vegetable Gardening in the Midwest, and that's a good overall of vegetable growing. It isn't specifically organic, but it's also not specifically conventional. So there's a lot of great information in that. If you can find that, and then also maybe get one good organic vegetable gardening book, and then don't be confused by anything else, that might do it. I don't know what you're starting with. If you're starting with like sod in a lawn, you know, there are different ways to do that. You might try a lasagna garden where you put down layers that kind of shade out and kill the sod, and then just kind of plant through all the different layers of mulch and do it that way. A book you might find, if you can find one of the old Ruth Stout books about gardening without tilling. She was an old character in New England, and she just kept lots and lots of mulch on things and just pulled it back when she wanted to plant something. So how you get started, you know, you could rent a rototiller and rototiller patch. You could build a raised bed and double dig it. There's lots of ways to get started. I think it sounds like something that's the least amount of work would probably get you started, and then go from there as you gain some expertise.
And to have her start small. Just do a little patch, and
even if it's just a half barrel planter with a tomato plant and a couple of peppers and some lettuces and things filling in. Definitely start something and then go from there.
And I had a friend who put his first early garden in a wagon. And so he had lettuce, and so when it got cold, the wagon came in the house, and then it went back out. And I thought that was a really good idea.
Well, you remember when Felder Rushing was here? He has a garden in the back of his
pickup truck. That was so funny.
He griped at me because he drove up here in January for a meeting, and his rosemary froze. I said, Illinois, January?
Pickup truck with a garden in the back. So, but the wagon is smaller, and you can move it in and out with cold. Okay, very good on the organic gardening. Let's go to you, Nancy. What you got?
I've got a question from a person who has some trees near Tower Hill that they're having problems with. And there's pictures of two different trees. The picture of the rounded shaped tree with the nice green foliage and a spot of colored leaves in the middle of the top is the youngest tree, they say. But this is how the older trees started to look in the last 2 to 3 years, getting progressively worse each year. And they want to know if we can explain what's happening. I can't explain exactly what's happening. I can say what I think might be happening. There's lots of different things that can cause trees to have big sections of them that are dead. Anything from there's been damage to the base of them, to digging of the roots on that side of the tree, to chemicals applied there. But what I think this might be is a disease, unfortunately, called Verticillium Wilt. And a way to find out if you have Verticillium Wilt is if you can get to the area where those yellowed or poor leaves are, get a branch that's probably like about as thick as your thumb, and take a knife and cut into it. And the wood inside should be white or buff color, just kind of all the same color. But if it has Verticillium Wilt, it'll be streaked with dark green and white. So you'll see, if you look at it, end on, there'll be a ring of discoloration. If you cut it this way, you'll see stripes of discoloration. And if that's what it is, really not anything you can do that's going to save the trees. They're probably going to end up dying from that disease. But, I mean, you want to know what's going on, and that's what it sounds like. The best thing that I could recommend you do is just, if you have the ability to water the trees, water them when they're in drought, because the trees that are growing vigorously can sometimes outgrow this disease. Not always, don't count on it necessarily, but if it's out in a farmland area, like it looks like is the case, you could at least try fertilizing it. That's a pretty cheap way to try to deal with it. So that's what I think is going on.
Hopefully it can outgrow it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. And now, David.
Mine is probably something that everybody's going to have this spring or has had this spring, and this person just has a whole yard full of violets and does not like the violets. I know we all are saying, oh, I mean, because we love the violets, but if somebody is trying to get a pure stand of grass and they want that pure stand of grass, they're going to look at violets as something that's going to be problematic. Now, violets usually appear in the grass, number one, because the grass isn't actively growing. Most of our turf grasses that we have, bluegrass, the fescues, actually can choke out the violets if the grass is healthy enough. There are some chemicals that a person can do. I would suggest you can use some of those. The toughest ones that do the best job can also damage trees and shrubs, and so you got to make sure you read the label very, very carefully on that. I would also look at planting next fall to aerate the turf, fertilize in September, followed by a winterizer fertilizer right around Thanksgiving, Christmas time, to encourage as much growth of the grass as possible so it'll choke out the violets. I guess you can get a bunch of rabbits. They like violets, if I remember right, as well as clover.
Deer love violets.
Deer love violets.
Not enough.
But and Chuck's saying not enough. The result may be that if you have a lot of violets and you don't want it, you may just want to consider killing the entire lawn and starting all over from scratch. You know, using something that's a blanket killer. The rest of us look at it and say, you know, I'm happy with violets in my lawn.
I collect violets.
I know.
It's usually worse in shaded areas because the grass doesn't grow as well.
It's more
there.
beautiful in shaded
Violets
areas.
love shade.
Oh, they love shade. They don't like the full sun. But again, they like it where it's thinned out.
Yep.
Freckles is such a pretty violet.
Yes.
And you can get white ones, and you can, oh, well, anyway, I won't get started. Thank you. Very good. Now let's go to the phone lines, and we're going to go to Carol on line 4 about roses. Hi, Carol.
Hi, I'm calling about climbing roses that are 12 to 15 feet high. They were beautiful bloomers in November, and I didn't prune them, but I do know they need to be pruned down to 4 to 5 feet. What temperature should I be looking for before I start with the cutters on the roses?
So at what time does she start to prune them, right?
That's what
Yes.
it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm going to say right a week before they bud out. But I'm going to say the end of March, 1st of April, probably.
This year I might wait until a week after they bud out to see how much is dead.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
I would probably wait a little bit more this year, even into
maybe to Easter time?
possibly,
mid-April?
yeah, mid to
Mid-April?
later
I don't know
April.
when Easter is this year.
It's the third week or so
Okay.
of April. But I think I would, normally that's when you would do it, but I think this year is going to be colder later.
We're going to see a lot of dieback on roses
think
and
we
other
will.
things too.
I think we will, so be prepared. And you'll just trim back a little bit beyond the dieback.
So you have a little bit of leeway in your timing.
Yes, you do, but
Make
don't
sure-
go early
And make sure the pruners are sharp
and clean.
and clean.
Okay, thank you. And now let's go to a planting a tree question. And this is on line 5. Hi there.
Hi there. How are you this evening?
Doing great.
I have a question. About a year ago, we had a maple tree cut down, a large maple tree, and I'm wondering how close we could plant the new tree to this maple tree that was removed.
Okay.
Was the maple tree that was removed dead, or?
Well, it was getting rather large, and there was some dead parts on it.
There's not any rule of thumb on that. You know that it's going to take years for the roots on the tree that you removed to deteriorate. But if they have some sort of fungus growing in them, and you plant a tree near them, and you know the fungus could go to that tree, but I don't know. I personally don't think makes that much difference. Do you?
And maybe
guys have any?
plant a non-maple.
I would agree, non-maple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in case that's what was causing the dead area.
5-6
Yeah.
feet away. I mean, it's the soil around that where it was removed, I think is going to be
Well,
the
one thing you could do is you could have the trunk ground up and
Sure.
removed, and that would help a little bit.
And you could plant a smaller tree out of way, because you're going to hit some roots, I think.
Yeah, you're going to have to check with a shovel and see where the main roots are and plant it between them, because that's the only place you're going to be able to dig a hole unless you've got some heavy equipment.
So smaller is better.
But you know, you did say that you want to put another maple in there, and I think I agree, it would be better not to do that. There's lots of nice trees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of choice, but a maple after a maple,
It's just risking it. It's not worth it.
Considering we don't know if the tree was diseased, so that could be a little bit tense. Well, good. Thank you for that question. We appreciate it. And I know that it's always fun to talk about gardening, but we also want to wish Trevor best wishes. We have a person here who's leaving us, and so we want to say good luck to Trevor and thank you for everything. And so we hope that you will get out either looking at the garden, trying to visualize spring, and have a great week gardening. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.